So on the US Tech yesterday, we had some expectations here on the US Tech after citing some a channel. Remember, we identified a channel here which existed for I think 48 hours here. That was between the 12,520 and the 12,470 area. We saw our price action fell into a consolidation phase to further emphasize the indecision in this market. Don't forget that we are profitable on the US Tech prior to the live session yesterday. Remember, we took advantage of a buy opportunity after we saw the breakout retest of the 12,320, and since then price action had continued to find higher highs and higher lows to emphasize the bullish momentum that the week has started with. And at this point in time, remember, during the live session yesterday, we were around here. Where were we during the live session? Okay, we had a consolidation phase around the 12,520 level, and I told you that I'm leaning towards a bullish momentum here. As we can see, price action is continuing to knock on the resistance level of that channel at the 12,520 level. Remember, that was our resistance point at the beginning of the week. That's the 12,520, and I told you to ignore all this move here, as I'm saying this as a noise. This was as a result of the volatility that came in prior to and after the macroeconomic events that happened on Tuesday. So because of this, we are not going to be taking this into consideration. So I said we should ignore that and use this channel as a yardstick for trading activity for New York session yesterday. And one thing I said is that we should have our buy stop order somewhere right above the 12,520 level to join a bullish momentum at that point. And this is exactly what happened. I think we got the position triggered even before the end of the live session yesterday, and we have this position running. And what do we have here right now? As if you had been part of that trade, kudos to you, congratulations to you guys, as you will currently be running with over 150 pips in profit at this point. And what we want to be doing right now, if you have been part of this journey, is to secure your current position by moving your stop loss accordingly to lock in some profit. And where do you think is most appropriate for us to lock in some profit? Well, if we look at the current structure we have here, the highest point price was on Tuesday was at the 12,650 level, which we have a resistance point here. Then we saw the breakout of that structure here during the later part of the New York session. So at this point in time, I will be suggesting that you should be bringing your stop loss to somewhere right below this 12,650 level. Lock in some profit there, and let's see how price action will play out in the next couple of hours. Now, if we look at the current structure we have here, following the impulsive move we enjoyed yesterday, that is the 100. How many pips move was that from the 12,520? That was about a whopping over 220 pips in our favor yesterday. And one thing we noticed here is that as soon as price got into the 12,750 level, we begin to see some sudden pressure from that area to give us a little consolidation phase around that area. So this structure here needs more attention, as we need to see how price action will be reacting to the structure to decide if we are going to be seeing a retracement of that impulse leg that happened yesterday. So to make things a little bit clearer for us, we are going to be identifying this channel, and if we look closely here, we can see we have a support level sitting somewhere right around the 12,000. Let's see, 12,685. Okay, so we should be having that figured out here. So for the sake of clarity, we should just relabel this $12,685 level. So we have something like this. So you can see what has been happening here in the last 12 to 15 hours. Now price action has been within the flat channel right within the 12,750 and the 12,685 level. And you know, in our community here, looking at it from a technical standpoint, whenever we have a flat channel like this, all we are going to be doing is to remain patient and look out for either a breakout of the 12,750 to join a trend continuation to the upside, or a breakdown of the 12,685 to see a sell-off happen in this market. But if a breakdown of the 12,685 happens, I would advise you to remain patient here, as this might likely be a retracement of that impulse leg that started yesterday, and this might likely lead into a situation where the retracement culminates somewhere around the bullish trend line here, which also shares a confluence with that 12,600 level, which was a resistant point earlier on in the week, and that was finally broken during the course of yesterday's trading session. So we might likely have a situation that if price action breaks down to 12,685, price might likely go as far as dropping into the bullish trend line, which also shares a confluence with the 12,600 level, in anticipation of another wave of bullish momentum to the upside. So we need to be very, very careful here. But if you are a scalper or a counter trend trader and you love taking short trades, well, you might be looking to take advantage of the breakdown retest of the 12,685, selling pressure below this level into this area, and then you look out for another buy opportunity. And if you are going to be doing that, let's see how many pips profit you have in potential. You have about 120 pips in profit to run through if that is going to be the case. But remember, if you are not a counter trend trader, you are not a scalper, I would advise you to remain patient. Even if price action breaks down the structure, remain patient, as we have a bus stop here at the 12,600, which I said shares a confluence with that bullish trend line, where we likely have to be looking out for buying opportunity, which could come in the form of a reversal pattern from here to join a bullish momentum to the upside. So these are my views here on the USTECH for buying the USTECH if price action drops below the 12,685. Now, if that does not happen, that is, if price action does not drop below the 12,685, but instead we see a situation where price continue to find higher highs and higher lows here, then I would like us to position ourselves right around or above the 12,750 to look out for a breakout to join a trend continuation to the upside. So it's a very simple setup we have here on our time frame. So we really do not have to scale up into the daily time frame to see what is really going on here, as it's very obvious what has been happening here since the beginning of the week, as price action has been finding higher highs, to further emphasize that buyers are still very, very strong in this market. So it's not advisable for us to be thinking of selling at this point. But if you are a counter trend trader, like I said, you might want to take advantage of a breakdown retest of the structure to the downside in anticipation of that trend continuation to the upside. So these are my views here on the USTECH, and I hope you are able to munch my screen so that you can use it as a reference point when you're about to make your individual decision during the New York session today. And if you do have any questions you feel like asking regarding what I just explained so far, or there is an area you need me to shed more light on, feel free to drop your inquiries in the comment section.